If you're watching this video, it means you know something isn't right. You probably feel like your life doesn't look the way you once dreamed it would. Isn't that true? You work 8 hours a day in a job that probably barely covers the bills, groceries, rent. Maybe you're taking care of your health and sleeping 8 hours a night. Great, you've spent 16 of your 4 hours. So what about the rest? You've got 8 hours left. What are you doing with those 8 hours? At this point, these are the most important hours of your day. But what really happens with them? Commuting to work, preparing meals, showering, cleaning, shopping, laundry. Realistically, maybe you have 2, maybe 4 hours of free time left each day. And what are you doing with that time? Are you spending it on something that brings you closer to success? Or are you sitting on the couch, scrolling through Facebook, Instagram? You say you don't have time for success, but you know what? You do have time. You're just not using it. People spend an average of 3 hours a day on social media. Do you know what that means? That's 100 hours a month. That's more than half a part-time job wasted on doing nothing, just staring at a screen. 100 hours a month. Imagine you had an extra part-time job, but you're dedicating it to your growth, learning, building your own business, doing anything that gets you closer to your dreams. Now add 4 Saturdays and Sundays, where you could work on yourself for 8 hours a day. Now you have 164 hours a month. That's more than a full-time job. Just imagine, what if you dedicated those hours to yourself? Instead of wasting 164 hours a month on social media, you could invest that time into building your business, growing personally, learning new skills. Think about it. That could be the catalyst for changing your life. But that's not all. Now ask yourself, why aren't you taking action? Why aren't you doing what you know you should? This is where psychological mechanisms come into play and hold you back. Maybe as a child, someone told you that you would never achieve anything. Maybe you heard that it's not for you, or that you're not talented enough. And you know what? Those words could have taken root deep in your subconscious. You might have started believing that success is for other people, but not for you, that you don't have what it takes to make it. But that's a lie. It's a false belief that's holding you back. Have you noticed how often you sabotage yourself? You make a plan, start taking action, but something goes wrong and you give up. That's self-sabotage. Subconsciously, you're afraid of failure, but sometimes you're also afraid of success. Yes, you heard that right. Fear of success is a real thing. Success means things will change, and change is uncomfortable. It requires more work, more responsibility, and that's why it's so easy to quit at the beginning. Where does this come from? Maybe as a child, someone mocked your achievements, and you learned that it's better not to try, because that way, no one will criticize you. Or maybe you live under the illusion that success comes easily because that's what social media shows. You see people achieving incredible things in a short amount of time, at least that's how it looks, and you start to think that if you don't succeed in a month, then you never will. That's a huge myth. Success isn't something that comes in a month or two. The people who achieve success work at it for years. It's not like one day everything magically falls into place. Success requires hard work, consistency, and most importantly, patience. One of the reasons people burn out quickly is unrealistic expectations. They start a project full of enthusiasm, but when they don't see results after a month or two, they give up. And what's worse, they forget about the small successes along the way. Imagine you start a project and learn a new skill, like typing faster on a keyboard or working with AI. These small achievements matter because they build a sense of gratitude toward yourself. Small successes lead to bigger ones. They raise your self-esteem and pull you into a positive spiral. You start to drive yourself. You become your own engine for positive change. When you start recognizing these small victories, your motivation grows. You start feeling gratitude for yourself and your actions. And that gratitude is the key to long-term success. So now ask yourself, what will you do with the time you have? You have 24 hours a day, just like everyone else. What are you going to do with them? You have the power to change your life. You can dedicate those hours to personal growth, to building success, or to social media and Netflix. The choice is yours. But the truth is, if you don't decide now, if you don't change anything, in a year, you'll be in the exact same place you are today. This is the moment where you have to face the truth. You have the time, you have the opportunity. The question is, do you have the courage to use them? If you do nothing, your life will stay the same. You'll continue to spend 164 hours a month doing nothing, handing over your time to social media. That's more than 240 days a year that you could have dedicated to yourself. Think about that. You have the power to change your future, but you need to start now. Will you make the decision? Will you allow today to be the beginning of your new future?